it takes away a little piece of my soul.
And Robinson.
Clinic on strike.
And wildfire smoke continues across southern Wisconsin. We'll be using our future track smoke model to let you know when you can expect it to start and end through the weekend.
Simon is. All right, Alex, let's check our first warn forecast.
Yes, let's go ahead and do that here. Our current smoke cover telling the story right now, where you see the blue right now, Madison, Dells, Camp Douglas, Janesville. That means the smoke concentration has gone down, but not over parts of far southwest Wisconsin. And you can see that in our sky cams here. Our Madison Mallard sky cam, a little bit more in the way of blue sky. That means that smoke particulate matter has decreased just a little bit. But when we look at our Queen Bee radio sky cam in Platteville, I'll step out of the way here. Look at the background there. Look at that haze hovering near the ground. That's where that smoke is still hanging on. We've got that air quality alert in effect through noon on Saturday now. So that has been extended across the entire WISC viewing area. And what does this mean here? This means this is in the unhealthy category for those that are susceptible to these smoky conditions. You want to limit your activity outdoors if you are not susceptible to these conditions. Coming up in just a few minutes, I will be using our future track smoke model to show you when you can expect these periods, these rounds of reinforcement of the wildfire smoke. That's coming up in a little bit.
All right, Alex, thank you so much. The man convicted of killing 19-year-old Shadi Robinson will spend the rest of his life in prison this morning, and we apologize for some sound issues you may not be hearing well right now. This morning, a judge sentenced Maxwell Anderson for killing Robinson and scattering her body parts around Milwaukee County. Right now, we're going to go to Kyle Bazorski's package right now.
The situation here is much the same as it was 30 days ago. The union members tell me that they're in for the long fight and until Mercy comes back with an acceptable offer. The sound of honking cars and picketing workers have a continued presence outside the clinic, all as they wait for Mercy to return to the negotiating table. According to UAW Local 95 Vice President Sandy Welch, efforts have been made to talk with Mercy representatives, but the union has not received any word back.
Hopefully we can get something settled shortly. We'd love to get back to work, like I said. We want our patients to have the excellent care that they are used to receiving.
The union is looking for the health provider to implement better security measures at the clinic, increase wages, and improve employee benefits. Mercy Health continues to stand by an earlier statement by VP Jenny Hallett, which says, quote, "We have always treated our 137 partners at Mercy Health East in a fair and equitable manner, consistent with our other 8,000 plus employee partners." In Janesville, Kyle Pozorski, News 3 Now.
All right, Kyle, thank you so much. And as soon as we learn more about when those negotiations are happening, you will know too. We'll provide updates right here on News 3 Now. You can receive notifications about this story directly to your phone with the free Channel 3000 mobile app.
And we have some breaking news today. After more than 6 decades, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting will be shutting down operations. This announcement comes less than 2 weeks after the president signed a bill cutting $1.1 billion for CPB. Officials say they will help local stations come up with plans to deal with the small budgets, but they say some may not be able to stay afloat.
And a Madison man will spend 10 years in prison for a 2022 shooting that hurt 2 teenagers. A judge sentenced 23-year-old Avian Baccaro for 2 felony counts of armed robbery as a party to a crime. The district attorney had previously charged Baccaro with 2 counts of attempted homicide. Those were dismissed. The charges stem from a shooting on Dryden Drive in August of 2022. Baccaro and another man, Jamari Mondi, opened fire at a car with 2 teens inside. Mondi is currently serving time for that crime. That left one of the teenage victims paralyzed.
This was just ridiculously unnecessary, horribly tragic in its outcome. Really senseless in so many levels.
Confusion.
And following his time in prison, Baccaro will have to serve 5 years of extended supervision. And today at the Capitol, a rally for home health care access serves as the culmination of one man's 127-mile trip from Neenah to Madison in his wheelchair. Carl Schulze has been riding his wheelchair more than 10 miles a day for the past 2 weeks, protesting for the aides and caregivers that work with him each day. Schulze says there's a shortage of those caregivers because they are not paid competitive wages and often don't receive benefits with their work.
Many leave for better paying jobs, and who could blame them? But when they leave, we're the ones left stranded. Without enough aides, people like me face a stark choice: struggle without care or lose our independence to institutions. That's not a choice, that's a failure of our system.
Schulze was joined at the Capitol today by other members of the disability rights community, many sharing their own stories of their own caregivers and advocating for increased Medicaid funding to provide those workers with livable wages and benefits.
Right now, UW researchers are working on a new kind of cancer vaccine, and they say the early results are promising.
Our Badger Beat reporter Kayla Dembeck joins us now with how the tiny gel implant could combat cancer in patients before it comes back. Kayla?
Yeah, scientists at UW-Madison are currently working on a new vaccine, it was tested on mice using tiny particles left behind by dying cancer cells that show the immune system what cancer looks like. Those particles are packed with immune-boosting drugs and placed into that soft gel. That gel is then implanted where the tumor was removed. In tests on mice with breast cancer and melanoma, the vaccine helped the body fight off the cancer and kept it from returning. It's still early and hasn't been tested in humans yet, but researchers hope to move forward by making sure it's safe and adapting it for tougher cancers such as pancreatic cancer or brain tumors. It's a big step, and it's happening right here at UW. To learn more, follow the Badger Beat on Instagram and TikTok by searching Badger_Beat.
All right, Kayla, thank you. And a new report out today shows hiring is sharply slowing as the president's trade policies raise doubts.
And we'll show you the latest numbers from the Labor Department and reaction from the White House later.
And hazy conditions continue. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington tells us whether to expect some relief this weekend in his first sworn forecast.
Plus, the annual event for building trust between law enforcement and communities. They are telling us more, and Susan and I are sitting down with Madison's acting police chief about what to expect at National Night Out when we're back.
Well, right now, the Capitol Canines organization is in need of more golfers for their upcoming golf outing.
Yeah, the fun starts at 8:30 in the morning on August 18th at Lake Windsor Country Club, and they also are in need of a few hole sponsors and silent auction items. All proceeds go to support the working canines of the Madison Police Department, which will be on hand for the event. Since 2004, Capitol Canines has provided all the funding for the MPD Canine program, except for the officers themselves. Through community fundraising, Capitol Canines supports the canine, the squad car, vet services, protective equipment, and canine safety equipment. Taxpayer money is not used for this.
Well, turning now to our first sworn forecast, Alex is going to tell us how much longer that haze is going to stick around. Alex?
Yeah, I wish I had better news. I think it's going to stick around, quite frankly, most of the weekend, certainly through Saturday, perhaps even into Sunday. But we're going to get brief reprieves. We have one going on right now across much of southern Wisconsin, where you see the blue here. That's less smoke in the atmosphere. Camp Douglas, Dells, Watertown, Madison, Janesville, over towards Lone Rock, and even towards Dodgeville. But look at Platteville. You're still hanging on to a little bit of that yellow, a little bit of that orange. And our sky cams can help continue to tell the story. You see just a touch of haze in the sky here over the Mallard sky cam here in the northeast part of Madison, but you also see blue up here higher up here into the sky. You contrast that to the camera in Platteville, and it looks foggy. That's that haze still hanging on in the Platteville area, and this is going to ebb and flow throughout the weekend. Periods of reinforcement of that PM 2.5 or wildfire smoke. So here we see at 10 o'clock that blue making it into southwest Wisconsin, reinforcing area of yellow and green coming in from Green Bay into Madison. That's more of that smoke starting to fill in from the north and from the east. Then you have smoke coming in from both sides, from the west and from the east as we head towards 6 o'clock Saturday. Yellow and orange across much of the state, but then a few brief patches where you have some blue, meaning there will be a few times as we go into Saturday into Sunday when we may see some brief reprieves and have a little bit more fresh air, so to speak, across the area. Then going into Sunday, it looks like, again, more reinforcement of that smoke filtering around the area. But let's get through Saturday first. Air quality warnings extended from today through noon on Saturday. Each day, the National Weather Service, in collaboration with the Department of Natural Resources, collaborate on the extension of those air quality alerts and warnings. Would not be shocked to see that carrying forth as we go into Sunday as well. What does that mean? The red category means at most we're getting into the unhealthy range. Those with sensitive conditions, sensitive to the smoke, you really just want to stay inside, shut the windows, keep the AC on. And that's actually probably not a bad practice in my professional meteorological opinion, to leave the windows shut if you're sensitive to these conditions at all, because you don't want to be breathing in this smoke overnight. And despite the smoke, at least temperatures are nice through the weekend going into early next week. It's not till we get a little bit later next week that we bring the humidity back, we bring the rain chances back a little bit later in that second half hour of Live at 4. I'm going to talk about the impacts to drought in southern Wisconsin and how much rain we've had. It may surprise you.
Well, mark your calendar. Madison is hosting National Night Out next week on Tuesday, August 5th.
And the goal of National Night Out is to enhance the relationships between neighbors and law enforcement to build trust and safety in the community. Everyone is invited to the festivities at Warner Park. And here to tell us more about it is Acting Madison Police Chief John Patterson. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hi, Chief. Good to see you.
Good to see you both as well.
So what can people look forward to this year?
Oh, we have 12 events total all around the city, so virtually everyone has an option, hopefully close to their homes, that they can travel to and meet with our police officers, meet with their neighbors, and really build trust and hopefully, form meaningful relationships with some of our staff. But it's a great chance too to meet our canine officers, to see our mounted patrol, to explore some of the vehicles that we use in our daily work. But it's really a great opportunity for us to focus on that critical police-community relationship that we really rely on to be successful and to ensure that Madison remains safe.
Why do you think events like this are important for that? And how effective do you think they are in helping to rebuild that trust?
No, that's a good question. Safety is not obviously just something the police can provide. It's something that we have to provide in collaboration with our community. And so relationships and trust building is, critical to get us there. But it doesn't come just through everyday work all the time. We sometimes need to create some informal opportunities to get to know one another and communicate and hear concerns, but also show what a great, diverse and committed workforce that we have, and that's what next Tuesday night will give us. So.
And how do you respond to any type of criticism or apprehension toward this event that some people in the community might have?
Well, to have trust, to have transparency, to have great communication, you can't have those things unless you're working on the relationship building and that you're actually creating opportunities for the community to come in and meet officers. But to spread it out throughout the city is, I think, a great development that we've done over the last couple of years. Where literally if someone has a transportation concern and they have a van full of kids that maybe don't want to travel all the way to one side of town or the other, there's opportunities in almost every neighborhood of Madison. So.
And it's a fun, festive environment. Right. So it sort of sets the tone of everybody coming together for a good time. But how does it work? Is it just informal conversations that you're having with people? Do people just come up and ask you questions about your job? Is it an opportunity for you to tell people how you make decisions, how you handle stressful situations? Is it just sort of...
It's really all of those things, to be honest. I mean, there'll be officers with some activities, for some of the younger attendees to participate in, but the horses, the dogs, the vehicles are all pretty big draws. A lot of people like to get up and close and see what those things look like, and certainly the animals are always, a hit.
Canines are
more than the officers probably, but we really try to make it as informal as possible and really as inviting for everyone as possible. So
when I've read a little bit about National Night Out, it sounds like one of the goals is to help deeper conversations in the community and maybe promote neighbors helping out neighbors in times of crisis. Do you think that's something here in the Madison community that we can anticipate from a night out, the National Night Out?
Absolutely. No, I appreciate you saying that. As important it is for us to get to know our community members, I think we can all agree it's important for neighbors to get to know neighbors as well, and that's what these events also do, is just bringing people together around the common theme of safety.
And it's fun.
It's very fun.
And it's a fun night out. Now, hopefully we'll have good weather. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
It looks really great.
Yeah,
so far.
It does so far. We don't often get an opportunity to talk to you, so before we leave you today, can you update us on what the status is of you're in the final running to be the official Madison Police Chief. You've been the acting chief for quite a while. Where does that stand?
There's 3 of us left, and we all have our final interview on the 14th of August. And then there's going to be a component of that that's recorded for the public to view. And I believe there's a listening session then scheduled for the 25th with the Police and Fire Commission. And then after that, hopefully we'll have a decision soon after. So.
And meanwhile, I hear you've been practicing your baseball skills.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to mention that. You have to throw out a first pitch.
Thank you for bringing that up, Brady. I appreciate that. But I'm throwing the first pitch out at the Mallards game.
No pressure.
I played hardball until I was 19, but that was 30 years ago. So it's been a while. Hopefully I don't one-hop it, but I'll practice a little over the weekend. So.
We believe in you. You'll do a great job.
Good sport. John, great to see you.
Great to see you both. Thank you so much.
We'll see you Tuesday night.
That sounds great. Wonderful. Thank you.
Well, here we are. It's August 1st, and the News 3 Now Back to School Supply Drive is back.
Hey, there we go. School's just around the corner. And in partnership with the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County, we're helping local students start the school year ready to succeed. From August 4th through the 15th, we're collecting essential school supplies to support thousands of kids across Dane County. Our big kickoff event, Stuff the Bus, will be held at Walgreens on University Avenue, kickstarting the drive on August 4th and wrapping it up with one final push on August 15th. You can help by dropping off supplies or making a donation during those events. Let's fill that bus and make a difference together. For details, visit channel3000.com.
And coming up on Live at 4, we'll show you the new tariffs in effect today and how they could affect you.
And how the president is responding to the latest jobs report.
We have some developing news now.
We've just learned 4 people are dead after a shooting at a bar in Anaconda, Montana. The shooting took place at 10:30 a.m. local time at the Owl Bar. The scene is secure. Anaconda Deer Lodge County law enforcement said in a Facebook post they know the identity of the suspect and believe he is armed and dangerous. Montana's governor posted on X that he is closely monitoring the situation. We'll continue to provide updates as we learn more.
Well, today, President Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, became the first top U.S. official to visit Gaza since the war began. His trip with the U.S. ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, comes as global outrage about current conditions in Gaza grow. Since May, more than 1,000 people have been killed while trying to reach food. After his visit today, Witkoff wrote on social media, the purpose of his visit is to craft a plan to deliver food and medical aid to Gaza. It's not clear yet what that plan will look like.
And back in the U.S., Jeffrey Epstein, accomplice and convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell, is now in a lower security federal prison camp. Maxwell was serving her 20-year sentence in Florida before. The news of her transfer comes after she and her lawyer demanded immunity in exchange for her congressional testimony. Democratic members of Congress are calling for all files related to the Epstein case to be released after the Wall Street Journal reported the president knew his name appeared multiple times in them. The White House calls that reporting a lie.
To Wall Street now, stocks are tumbling today after a weak jobs report and fear about the president's new tariff rates. The Dow dropped 542 points, the Nasdaq is down 472 points, and the S&P 500 is down 101 points. The new tariff rates will affect dozens of America's trading partners. Import taxes on goods from some countries will top 40%. The White House says those rates are based on trade imbalances and negotiations. Switzerland, which exports cheese, high-end watches, and chocolate to the U.S., faces a 39% tariff, though some of the new rates are lower than what the president initially proposed. They're still the most aggressive import taxes from the U.S. in nearly a century. Experts say the cost will likely be handed down to consumers.
And in addition to falling short in July, the jobs report the labor market put out today actually revised numbers from previous months. U.S. employers added just 73,000 jobs last month. That's far less than the 115,000 jobs projected. And the Labor Department's revisions shaved a massive 258,000 jobs off May and June's payrolls. The unemployment rate also ticked higher to 4.2% as Americans dropped out of the labor force.
In response to that news, the president fired the commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Without evidence, the president has accused Dr. Erica McIntyre of manipulating the monthly reports for what he calls political purposes. Coming up next on Live at 4, people in Columbus are angry about new wind turbines going up.
Our Ellie LaLiberte tells us why they say the new addition will be harmful to their community.
You're watching News 3 Now, Live at 4.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Live at 4. I'm Armand Rahman in for Susan Simon today.
Yeah, good to have you with us on this August 1st. I can't believe it's August already.
And you know what else it is today, Alex?
It's Friday! And it is a pretty beautiful Friday out there. A good day to get out on the water. Unfortunately, our weather words are those hazy skies continue. Alex?
Yeah, those folks, if you're susceptible to the smoky conditions, you're going to want to definitely take some breaks. And if you are really susceptible to these conditions, it's advised to stay indoors. But my story can really be told here with our first one, weather cam, that network of sky cams showing the weather out there. Blue sky is right now in Madison right now here, and those blue skies right now, we're taking that full screen here. Blue skies are showing that we have less in the way of smoke in the atmosphere in the Madison area, but that's not the full story here. As we load up our Queen Bee radio sky cam, we go to the south and we go to the west. There we go. Look at here in the background, we see all of that haze still out there. So when we look at the actual smoke that's in the atmosphere across southern Wisconsin, look at Madison here. The blue, we're seeing less in the way of smoke, and that's why we have the blue skies on the Mallard's camera. Look in Platteville here. We have the yellow. That's more smoke, more of that PM 2.5 in the atmosphere, and that's why you saw the haze. And we're going to be seeing periods of hazy conditions and smoky conditions throughout the weekend. We have that air quality warning now that's been extended to Saturday at noon, and I don't have the best news. I think on Sunday we're probably going to see more of that wildfire smoke moving around the area. What does this mean for you in health impacts? It means this is in the unhealthy category. As I was mentioning before, those that are sensitive to smoky conditions, you may want to consider staying indoors, shut the windows, leave the AC on. I know it's so tempting when it's so nice outside to want to open up those windows, but you want to keep that smoke outside, I should say. And even for all the folks in southern Wisconsin at nighttime, not a bad idea to shut those windows, let the AC run so that you're not breathing in that smoke throughout the course of the night. But coming up here in just a little bit, we're going to track that smoke plume again. And I'm going to say a few things about water. Where are we at with precipitation in southern Wisconsin and the latest drought updates? That's coming up in a little while.
All right, thank you, Alex. Well, taking a live look at Wisconsin State Capitol Rotunda, Justice-elect Susan Crawford swearing in is about to get underway. Wisconsinites elected Crawford in April. She beat Republican-backed Brad Schimmel and secured the Liberal justice's 4-3 majority. The historic race broke the record for the most amount of money spent on a judicial election in the country. Big-name donors like Elon Musk and George Soros even got involved. News 3 Now covered that race extensively, and you can find all of that coverage on channel3000.com. This program is just about to begin, and we will be checking in throughout the show with updates.
The man convicted of killing 19-year-old Sade Robinson will spend the rest of his life in prison. This morning, a judge sentenced Maxwell Anderson for killing Robinson and scattering her body parts around Milwaukee County in Illinois after their first date last April. A jury found Anderson guilty of those crimes earlier this summer. At today's hearing, Robinson's mom addressed the man who killed her daughter directly.
You're a coward. My daughter is a hero. My daughter is a hero. She has saved so many other women from this demonic serial killer that there's no telling how many more people that he has killed.
Despite his conviction, Anderson still claims he did not kill Robinson. He said today he plans to appeal.
3 people are in the hospital after a fire in Iowa County late last night. Reports of a structure fire came in at about 11:16 Thursday in the area of County Road H in Arena. A box alarm was activated, prompting multiple agencies to respond. The Iowa County Sheriff's Office says 3 people were taken to hospitals in Madison. No word yet on how they're doing.
Well, the town of Columbus residents are working to prevent wind turbines from going up across Columbia County.
Our Ellie LaLiberte shows us their concerns and whether or not their plans to fight the project will work.
Concern for many town of Columbus residents is over health and safety. And this field I'm standing in right now, it would be surrounded by 4 wind turbines. In total, the project would construct about 40 turbines and power roughly 70,000 homes. But the town is working to establish an ordinance to slow down Alliant Energy's project.
I don't see any pros coming out of this. If we have no control over things that happen in our area and can't voice our opinions and control anything, why not just let the county run everything?
The issue with the ordinance is the size of the Columbia County project. Projects over 100 megawatts are required to be reviewed by the Public Service Commission. Therefore, a project of this size is controlled by the state, not local governments. In a statement to News 3 Now, Alliant Energy says, quote, "We continue to follow all regulatory, environmental, and governing rules in order to provide safe, reliable energy." Reporting in the town of Columbus, Ellie LaLiberte, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Ellie. The ordinance is being drafted by a lawyer the town is working with. It includes tighter restrictions on checks for maintenance and will give the town the ability to hire an inspector if a complaint is made.
And let's take another live look at the Wisconsin Capitol Rotunda, where Justice-elect Susan Crawford's swearing in is underway. I'm told that she is in the room. Now, she is taking the place of retiring Chief Justice Ann Walsh Bradley. Wisconsinites elected Crawford back in April. She beat Republican-backed Brad Schimmel and secured the Liberal justice's 4-3 majority. That historic race broke the record for the most amount of money spent on a judicial election in the country. We will be keeping an eye on this ceremony and we'll be showing you updates as we get them. Well, in other news, the man accused of killing a Dodgeville woman, stealing her car, and driving her body across the country will not receive a competency hearing. On Tuesday, Gavin Thompson appeared in Nebraska court. A judge denied Thompson's request for a mental evaluation, calling it a waste of time because Thompson is awaiting extradition back to Wisconsin. The Iowa County DA charged Thompson with first-degree homicide, armed burglary, hiding a corpse, and operating a car without the owner's consent. He allegedly walked into 67-year-old Dorinda Segebrecht's home, stabbed her, then drove her body in her own car to Nebraska, where police ultimately arrested him. He's due back in court next month.
Well, today, millions of borrowers will see their student loan balances increase. Earlier this month, the Department of Education announced it would
If borrowers who are in the SAVE program want to know, should I move out of it, what they need to do is there's a loan tool on the studentaid.gov website, and they should plug in their information and look at that and see if it makes sense. Because if they're moving to another kind of loan program, it will likely have different kinds of payments, maybe higher payments.
That was the executive director of the Wisconsin Coalition on Student Debt about what borrowers on the income-driven repayment plan known as SAVE should know. Earlier this month, the Department of Education announced it would resume applying interest to loans held by people on that plan. You can find that full interview on channel3000.com.
And the coalition has resources for people who need help navigating your repayment plan options. Call the Wisconsin Coalition on Student Debt's free helpline at 833-589-0750.
And a brand new event is coming to Camp Randall starting today.
Yeah, Josh Sprider shows us Upper Deck Golf in the 608 later on Live at 4. And with the hazy skies continuing, our air quality isn't looking too good. Alex joins us with when we could see some relief in the first warn forecast.
And if those hazy skies got you staying inside this weekend, don't worry. There's new movies coming to streaming platforms. Whit Loper tells us where to watch when we come back.
Well, this weekend, take a trip to 18th century Hawaii or the comic book nation of Wakanda.
All from the comfort of your couch. Will Loper shows us what's new in the worlds of streaming this weekend in your Loper Report.
This island, this is your home. Travel back to 1782 Hawaii with Chief of War, newly streaming on Apple TV+.
Tell me of the outside world.
It is strange. The pale skin honors no gods of the land. They will be coming soon. If this island is divided, this kingdom will fall.
The series, based on historical events, follows a chief, played by Jason Momoa, who attempts to unify the islands of Hawaii to prevent colonization.
Won't stop till he finishes the job. Death is coming for our family.
Horror fans should check out Final Destination Bloodlines, newly streaming on HBO Max.
I saved a lot of lives that night.
Everyone needs to get off the dance floor!
Lives that were never meant to be saved. But Death doesn't like it when you mess with his plans.
The 2025 film follows a family trying to outsmart and outlive death.
Good luck.
Wakanda is a kingdom of many secrets.
And go on an animated adventure with Eyes of Wakanda, newly streaming on Disney+.
Spies like you and me sent out across the world to do the missions that Wakanda does not want known.
The 4-part series follows Wakandan warriors who go on missions to retrieve vibranium artifacts. For Live at 4, I'm Will Loper.
Any make your list?
Chief of War does look really good,
Yeah.
but you liked Final Destination Bloodlines.
I did. I like those movies. If you don't like old graphic stuff, maybe stay away from that and watch one of the others.
I can't look at a lawnmower the same way. Ever.
No. Google that. Well, maybe don't. All right.
You should Google Jason Momoa shaved for the first time in 6 years.
Completely different without that beard.
Yeah, I think facial hair always is better.
You rock it.
Oh, thank you, Brady. You too.
Coming up, a brand new event is coming to Camp Randall starting today.
Josh Breider introduces us to Upper Deck Golf in the 608 when Live at 4 is back.
In the 608, a brand new event is coming to Camp Randall starting today. And no, it's not another concert.
And it ain't football either. Josh Breider here now with how some folks are swinging into the weekend.
I'm not talking about football at Camp Randall either. Before the Badgers return to the field at home later this month, the stadium is turning into a golf driving range this weekend. Upper Deck Golf is a once-in-a-lifetime golfing experience inside the most legendary stadiums and ballparks across the country. And now it's Camp Randall's turn. Wisconsin Athletics providing me this video of former Badger hockey star Joe Pavelski giving it his best shot with both a golf club and a hockey stick had to make an appearance. This is truly a VIP experience while hitting the shots from the upper deck throughout the stadium down to the custom greens on the field below. I'm told there will also be music, food, and drinks. You can even expect scoring competitions, driving challenges, closest to the pin challenges, and putting challenges. So here's what you need to know. Upper Deck Golf is open today and tomorrow at Camp Randall. You can get your tee times through a link on channel3000.com. They are still available. You're asked to show up 30 minutes prior to your tee time. You can bring your clubs, but they'll also have clubs on hand for folks to demo, and they'll provide you the golf balls. Upper Deck Golf is proud to support Stand Up to Cancer as their official charity, so you can go have fun, but also know you are giving back to an amazing cause as well. In the 608, I'm Josh Breider, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Josh. It's a pretty good day for golfing out there, but we don't want to forget about that haze, Alex.
No, you don't want to forget about that haze, but there's been some improvement in that haze for parts of the WISC viewing area. Actually, much of it, rather. All this blue that you see is less smoke in the atmosphere, at least temporarily. But as you look down towards Platteville, still hanging on to some of those yellows and some of those oranges, just a little bit more smoke, a little bit more haze in the atmosphere. And then we can see that, we can validate that, as I've been mentioning here with our sky cams that show the weather. That's the power of the First One Weather Cam network here. Blue skies above the Mallard Stadium, as we see just a little bit of haze out there, but blue skies above. And then you compare and contrast that to what I was showing Spring and Platteville. Looks like it's foggy. Look at all that haze in the background underneath that cumulus cloud. Let's track the smoke here. Brief reprieve here in southern Wisconsin. And normally I show just a southern Wisconsin view, but when we're talking about wildfire smoke, we got to look at the entire upper Midwest, where you see the oranges bringing that smoke back in by 6 o'clock Saturday morning. As we carry forth through the day, a lot of oranges, a lot of yellows across the state of Wisconsin, maybe a few brief patches here or there of a breath of fresh air. But for the most part, even as we head towards Sunday at 7 a.m., a lot of yellows and oranges across the state. So I would not be surprised to see these air quality alerts and warnings that were extended from noon today to noon Saturday to possibly being extended into Sunday. This is that unhealthy category. If these smoky conditions make you, if you're susceptible to these smoky conditions, rather, you really should limit your outdoor activities. If not, stay indoors, shut the windows, and keep that AC on so you're not letting in that matter, that smoke, into your house. As we head out into later next week, our weather pattern will make a total flip. And with that flip in the weather pattern, the wildfire smoke will likely push off towards the north and east, but replaced with humidity. Temperatures back into the upper 80s, lows in the 70s by night, and thunderstorm chances. And I made a comment that I would talk about the drought monitor here. No changes to that small patch of abnormally dry conditions over parts of far southeast Lafayette County and far southwest Greene County areas near Monroe. But we do have more drops in the forecast later next week. And while we are above normal in the precipitation department for the month by about 1.5 inches for the year, I know it seems like it's been really wet lately, and it does look nice out there, as green as it is, but we're right at normal for this time of year. We need to keep the precipitation going here in order for us to not make steps backwards into dry conditions. Live at 4 continues. We'll talk about the state fair in just a little bit.
All right, take another live look again at the Capitol Rotunda, where the swearing-in continues for Susan Crawford. She's over there in the blue there on the right. Everyone applauding right now. Susan Crawford is replacing outgoing Wisconsin Supreme Court Chief Justice Ann Walsh Bradley. And our crew will continue to bring us updates and coverage of that ceremony through the evening's newscasts.
This Feel Good Friday, we're taking a look at what the Wisconsin State Fair has to offer for families headed to West Allis this weekend.
The fair runs through August 10th, and this Sunday is Veterans and Military Recognition Day. All veterans, military personnel, and their families get free admission to the fair that day. All you need to do is show your military ID at any ticket window. Look at those cream puffs.
Oh, those look good. For fairgoers looking to experience the state's agriculture scene today, the swine and goat, poultry and rabbit, and livestock horse barns are on display. If you can't make it out today, the livestock horse barn is also open tomorrow. Oh, it's fair season, everyone.
Yeah, it is. Those pigs were fast.
Yeah, I was just thinking about a corn dog, so.
Yeah, the food is always a big draw, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
I haven't had a corn dog in a long time. Anyway, let's talk about the weather.
Back to reality.
Back to reality. If you are going to be out at the fair this weekend and you are susceptible to the smoky conditions, please limit your outdoor activities this weekend, as we will have the continuation of that wildfire smoke. But overall temperature is looking pretty nice for the fair if it's not something that bothers you too terribly.
All right, go get a corn dog, and we'll be right back. On the next Live at 4, Will Loper has a review of the weekend at the box office. And later on News 3 Now at 5, healthcare workers at Mercy Health East Clinic continue their strike. Our Kyle Pozorski talks to them about what they are seeking from management. Well, thanks for watching Live at 4 today, and we hope to see you back here on Monday. You can find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.